Like showing people how you set up the day, I think it's definitely okay. Like on a day-to-day, what you do, it's fine. But you know how like they have this automated sound. Today, I'll bring you to this place. Then you know, what's that?
Hidden gem in Chinatown.
Yeah.
Everything's a hidden gem, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of the Dabao Show. In this series, Days Off, we follow guests from the F&B industry on the day off to see what they get up to, have a meal with them, have a bit of tea, and maybe spill a bit as well. For today, our guest is Asmine from Hideout Coffee Bar.
Hi, I'm Asmine, founder of Hideout. On my off days, I gym a lot and drink wine.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
What is your experience so far? Because when I worked with you at Nothing Fancy and Hideout, right, you were doing all the graphics and stuff already.
I studied design when I was in school, but actually it was fashion. And then because through fashion, I started learning all the softwares, AI, Photoshop, blah blah blah.
Okay.
And then Singapore is so hard in fashion. Naturally, I went on to being a stewardess for 6 years. During the time where I was in SQ, I still do a little bit of design here and there, and then I started to pick up a little bit more of graphic and illustration just because I kind of like enjoy drawing sometimes or painting. When I was thinking to leave SQ, actually a friend of mine who owns a cake shop, like a pastry shop, asked me if I'm keen to do pastry setups, like people who wants to do like wedding, then they need a desserts table setup. Yeah, because I guess she saw me doing it for my sister's wedding. And then she was like, hey, maybe this is something that you can do once you leave the airline. So I started doing that first, and I did actually a couple of setups. And then I started doing even more flower arrangement, a lot with my hands.
Today's the day I know she knows how to do flower arrangement.
A little bit lah, not as good as the real florist, but yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, and you did my curtain as well.
Yeah, because I'm a sewer. I can sew. I'm from design.
Pro tip, if you need curtain work, Asmine can do.
Then naturally, I started to go back to design, and I feel happy doing it, especially more so. Actually, after SQ, I went on to Two Men, doing in-house designing. So Two Men for 2 years, I was an in-house designer. I did all the collaterals, all their posters. I did a lot of merch for like staff. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much your entry to F&B lah.
That's where I started doing operations in Two Men also, because I really wanted to know how it works inside like an operation, so that I can design things for the staff.
So all these like was sort of semi self-taught also.
It is
Because like you did fashion. I mean, obviously you got to get your hands on AI and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, like you weren't taught branding and logo. Kind of
no,
thing.
never ever.
So then
I was not.
that was actually
taught.
self-taught to
Yeah.
like how to draw this logo, how this works for a company and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So if it's self-taught, right? Think about it. How do you know that it's right?
In my opinion,
Vibes.
some people will say that design has got rules. Kyola looking at me now. Design has got certain kind of rule, especially for branding. In my opinion also, especially in the brand logo aspect.
Brand guides, there are
guides,
things
yeah.
to
Yeah.
work out, like color scheme.
Correct. Logo, your secondary,
yeah.
primary logo.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually read through few books and really go on research and trying to understand, because I was doing logos for my own brand first. And then that's where people started seeing, and then they like it, and then they ask if I can help them. Even in design side, it's all very natural, organic. I don't have customers that I do not know, or client that I do not know that I was doing it for. Yeah, mostly are friends who I know.
I mean, as much you read and all that kind of thing, it helps a lot. Is there a part that it's gut feeling also? Like you see already, you're like,
Of course, to me, everything is about composition. Yeah, even in a photo, everything is about composition. Like, you really got to know your spaces. So when you keep doing, you start to realize a lot of mistakes. And that's why mistakes makes perfect. Yeah.
Because you
just keep doing it.
bump already,
Yeah.
then you see
And
it.
then when you go back to looking at your old work, right? Then you will realize, oh my god, this is a mistake that I made last time. Then you learn from it. That's why learning is never ending, man. Really never ending.
So we're going to talk social media marketing today. We have a lot of lists of these kind of videos like that. Hey, what do you do for a living? And then you go into the person's shop and then they will showcase sort of, right? I'll do this prata for you in 1 minute, that kind of stuff. Before we go into other more discussions, right? What's your opinion on these kind of videos?
I don't really like that idea of
Okay.
having like too much social media involved, especially in contexts like that. But I also do understand that like people monetize in that area, for example, like TikTok. Yeah, and nowadays TikTok is a trend, and I still do not buy that idea of being in TikTok because a lot of times people give off false information as well.
Agree. If you're talking about like reviews or recipe videos,
Yeah,
like that.
correct. Like they don't get the right information and then they start to TikTok in a way that like it's false, and then when other people that see their TikTok reviews, right, and then they come and then they expect something and then they don't get it and then they're upset.
You don't see TikTok as a platform.
Never
you see
has
it more as a
I don't
trend.
even have TikTok app, by the way. That's so bad, but yeah.
Okay. But I mean, a lot of these kind of, TikTok itself is just a platform to
Yeah.
post videos, right?
Correct.
It's just the idea of these videos because it does show up in Instagram, it does show up in Facebook and things like that. So while we're not specifically focusing on TikTok, it's more of like how these videos are done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you feel that maybe it's not as creative, because a lot of people just rehash the sort of the style of the videos.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And people are just copying to another location.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I just don't understand. I just don't buy that idea.
There are different aspects of this, right? There's the marketing side, so like your business owner who does these kind of videos for their
Yeah.
brands. And then there's also the other side of things where it's reviewers, vloggers, everyone's a director, everyone's a reviewer. And
Yeah,
all.
correct. I always have been doing a lot of natural marketing in terms of, I'm not the best,
Okay.
to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm still learning and it's still a journey. But I always try to start off natural first. Example, like doing natural events so that people do come here and create a community as well. Because when you bring many people together, you tap on different people's community and you never know whether these people will like your style or not.
Yeah.
Eventually they will come if they like it, right?
Yes.
And at the end of the day, for me is if you like it, you come. If you don't like it, it's okay. You can always go to somewhere else.
Do you think there's any kind of like bad or like sort of like cons in relying on just purely digital marketing?
Because it's all visual, it's all what you see in digitally. You don't feel, you don't touch, you don't experience.
Yeah.
But if you do a very natural style of event for marketing, you actually get to experience every single thing, touch, feel, and even like the people around you. You know what I mean? But by just seeing digitally, maybe from digital point of view, it's very, very nice.
Yeah.
But when you come here, you get disappointed.
Because the expectation is a bit different.
Yes.
True.
So
Okay.
this is like my point.
Say cafe owners, right? They like to do the kind of videos where they open the shop, go through the day with me and things like that. So in some way, this kind of like day of vlogging, it's also sort of personal touch in a sense.
Yes.
Because the content itself is sort of like their own personal touch rather than using, very bombastic looks
Yeah.
and things like that. So do you feel that that's also a good thing for?
I think that in that sense, it's fine. Like I won't say that everything about digital is bad, but like to a certain extent, like I don't think it should be super fake. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
everything is preset. Oh, okay, we must do this, we must do that. But if you do it in a very natural way, I think it's fine. Yeah, like showing people how you set up the day, I think it's definitely okay. Like on a day-to-day, what you do, it's fine. But like, you know how like they have this automated sound, today I'll bring you to this place, then what's that
hidden gem in Chinatown.
Yeah.
Everything's a hidden gem, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I cannot do that. Like
Right,
it's
yeah.
too much for me.
Because
Yeah.
you do feel that if it's a video that sort of wants to push the personal touch things, then you would rather they also do their own voiceovers rather than use that
Yeah,
automated voice.
correct.
Okay, fair enough. Then, we sort of like criticizing this side of videos, right? But is there a pro in videos where people go through the extent of setting up nicely, going through a bit of production just to make their videos?
Definitely. Just that these will cost a lot of money,
And time and yeah.
right? Yeah. So then monetize, which is what I'm also not very keen about.
Right. Because it's also not guaranteed that you can monetize your
Exactly.
digital marketing stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Before social media was a thing, right? Marketing and advertising like newspapers, TV, our
Magazines.
ads, magazines.
Yeah.
Right.
All
Oh my
this
gosh.
has been what happened,
We the
And-
boomers, yeah.
Okay, there's something that I also wanted to say, in my opinion, many decades ago, everything is about human touch. It's still ongoing.
Yes, so
Yeah.
I was going to bring to that actually social media like kind of accelerated a lot of things. It gives you a lot of exposure. It's not a bad thing. Like now I know where, say, Hideout is, where Paraphrase is, where Folkyard is, etc. Right? But the thing is that people need to understand that this is very surface level information. At the end of the day, you should go for yourself and check it out. Even like I'm not shitting on like people who post about a place because they want to share. I
Yeah.
think most people have the intention to, hey, I've been to this place, I think you should check it out. And that's how kind of like Instagram all that started.
Yeah.
And then because of that, people monetize. But the thing is that, you got all your reviews, all that kind of thing. But I think more of the fact of that going down to go see whether it's for you is more important, and that's where your organic growth kind of start. Because
Exactly.
people who don't even see and just come down and like, hey, what is this? And then they're like,
Yeah.
because it's just about sharing, right? But like what you said, sharing can be sharing of wrong information,
Exactly.
misleading information, or it could be right information at the same time. But it's just very dangerous. It helps, but it's a double-edged sword. It can work very well, but it can work to your disadvantage as
Yeah.
well.
We actually had customers that did like TikTok for us.
Yeah, we didn't know. We didn't know.
We didn't know, but because of that TikTok trend, right, it kind of got viral for a period of time. And the reason why am I allowed to share?
I must have cut out.
What happened was like there was a period of time where the TikTok came about, and then it came to Nothing Fancy, and then they start shooting. And I think because of that, they gave the wrong information, and people start thinking that Nothing Fancy is a cocktail bar.
Alright, yes.
And then they request for like crazy, funny cocktails that I don't even have. Back then, to be honest, I was a little bit more rigid because my intention of Nothing Fancy is to really bring the word of natural wines out, right? And I really just want to serve natural wines. I just wanted to share that grape juice, and I didn't want anything else.
Okay.
Not even beer, not even like house pour.
Yeah.
So when they came in, they were super upset. They really were very upset and said like, oh, I came all the way here and I don't get what I want. There's no alternative for your drinks, blah blah blah. And the fact that like on Google, on Instagram, it's already stated wine bar. My take about it is also I'm not good at cocktails. Nothing. I know nothing about cocktails. Why am I doing a cocktail in my shop that I don't know anything about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would rather be selling something that I know the product than selling something that I don't know anything about. So if you want to drink cocktail, go to a cocktail bar. Yeah, they serve you the best cocktail.
I don't want to be a bit like dismissive, but I feel that, because the barrier entry is so low now, right? Anyone can do this. Right?
Yeah.
From people who understand food to people who don't understand food. People who just want to build attention, people who really wants to spread the message. Right? I think there's a lot of intention when I was hearing about what you were saying.
So I think the pool is very big. With a big pool means everything just diluted.
Yeah.
So it's dangerous. It's good and dangerous at the same time because the reach is wonderful, but yet at the same time, when such a big reach it is, you don't know what you get at the end of the day.
Don't want to put you in a spot, but do you have any advice on how to fix this?
Do your research. don't see a video then like just show up.
Yeah.
Go. You see a video, you Instagram, you follow the page, you check something out, check Google reviews, check everything before.
I just want to say social media is really just a surface. It's like a topping in an ice cream. But if you want the real ice cream, go to the store.
You gotta buy it. And
yeah,
you gotta try it.
exactly. Yeah.
So I think when we talk about building brands or even when we start a brand from scratch, right? A lot of times like people focus on social media first. Of course you still have your ops and all that kind of thing, but social media is important. At least it's something to put you on the platform. But a lot of times people get too fixated and focus on social media. We more focus on getting things right and getting things done well.
More like information.
Yeah, we don't wanna.
Getting the information out.
Yes, we don't wanna like just boom like this massive 2-hour queue kind of
Yeah.
like. We want people to come in, have a good time, and
Yeah.
come back.
I honestly do not know how to feel for the customer point of view to be queuing 2 hours. The queuing part is just like, I don't think it's a nice experience to be queuing and then get very excited, and then when you come in, maybe you get disappointed because, oh, I queued so long, and then like, oh, it's just like that.
I think a lot of new businesses have that problem because obviously the money speaks for itself, right? But the thing is that sometimes like if we went to a restaurant, we spend $100 at this place, right? Got chance, if I didn't enjoy myself, I won't come back.
Exactly.
Like I can spend 200 at another place and then I'll be like, oh, I will still consider coming back because I had a good time here. It wasn't rush, not pushy, that kind of thing. We try to focus more organically growth driven. I'm not saying that we don't do social media.
I still do.
Yeah, we still do.
I think for Nothing Fancy experience, when we first started, all our friends of friends, like what you said, organic growth, were really packed for that first few weeks. But at the end of the day, I also do understand that like your friends will not be there for you forever and ever. You know what I mean? Like
Not in a bad way, not in a bad way, no way.
But like they will still come, just that not like every other day.
Yes, yes.
Right? That's the downside about organic growth, but I still do prefer to have the element much more than inviting all the influencers coming in to like tell me, oh, this is so good, this is what, this is that. But at the end of the day, do they really feel that way? Or is it just because they are an influencer, they have to do that job? And that's also the reason why I pick and choose the people who I want to invite sometimes, because especially for natural wines, we are still very niche in that sense. Not everybody drink natural wine yet, and so when Nothing Fancy came about, I really did not tap on a lot of influencers. Even if I do, it's just like super small group of people that I know they will enjoy and I know that they like it.
So we have the site where these review videos do affect businesses. Any clown can just do a video now, scold your establishment, and your establishment will be affected.
Yeah.
And then we have on the other side of things, some business owners taking the TikTok trends and making their own videos. Whether is it good or not, whether is it acceptable or not in terms of quality is subjective, right? But we do know that a lot of people are doing it now. So in my opinion, this realm of social media affects a lot of industries.
Definitely.
Yeah, do you see a better time for us? Because I'll be honest, right, it does affect my industry a lot, and in fact, it affects a lot of people in my space where we don't get enough jobs now just because everyone can do it.
It's all about expectations, right? When you see something and then you expect so much, and then when you go to that place and then it doesn't give you what you want, then you started to blame on that establishment. Yeah. But why don't we relax a little? Guilty as such, I sometimes also got looped into it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, social media is so strong, so when you see something, you just very curious, and when you get curious, you kind of expect what you see, but all the time, it's not really the truth.
The full truth.
Yeah, correct.
I would feel that even now, how social media is going, it's also a trend.
It's a trend, but I feel it will just get worse.
Oh, really?
It used to be so much easier. Friendster. Wow. Now I sound old.
All the boomers in this room just went like, oh shit.
Friendster was so easy.
I thought you were going to say fine.
And honestly, I used to read a lot on MailChimps. Like emails, and then they came in and then they send you like newsletter and all. I used to do that, and I used to buy so many magazines. No, not anymore. Because it's everywhere. And you know what the worst is? Digital is faster, when you go to the shop and buy your magazine, right? Actually, you turn on your phone, right? You already see it. You don't need to buy already. That's why magazine establishments are dying.
Newspapers as well.
Yeah, newspapers.
Yeah.
Who reads newspaper now? Only our dad's generation. I think maybe 20% of our people, our generation reads newspaper now. Not much.
And I think it's also just a lasting damage or effect, however you want to put it, right, with this attention span, right? And then if you move along and then people don't sort of find a way to reset it, then ultimately I guess a lot of this kind of productions or like the way of marketing will be that way.
Yeah.
And like you say, it will not get better.
Let's talk about like just pure magazine. Now they themselves has no choice but to shift themselves to the digital format. But there's no touch, there's no feel. You buy the magazine because you want to feel, you want to touch, you want to really like...
You want to cut out your idol and quote.
But now, right, everything is just copy-paste. You can find it in the magazine establishment on social media.
So it's not good news for us.
I think I'm gonna be a hater. Sorry, guys.
Here we are at Hideout 2.0.
Yay!
Asmine finally got the place together. We are here post-launch already.
About 3 weeks.
So how has it been for running Hideout now?
Very, very tiring, but very, very grateful for everything that had happened, and so far has been really good. Response was great.
Of course, we know like Hideout 1.0 started very different. Like back then, it was on top of nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Really a rooftop to Hideout. I mean, here now is a back alley Hideout.
Yeah.
Still actually the same.
It is. It's still sing the same song in terms of what we want to do. At the end of the day, it boils down to like community. So when I say community, it's not just like your food community, more like overall. We want
For everyone.
different people coming in. Like we plan of doing different events, like for example art, music, trying to utilize this small little space in different ways that we can.
Hideout 2.0 is quite relatively a small space,
Yeah.
small, tight, cozy. People coming over because
Yeah.
like you guys boomed a bit on the social media.
Yeah.
I mean, still now I guess it's good because you get more people in, but some days it's like beyond capacity.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like with this capacity that comes in, it gives me even more courage to do bigger things in terms of like how much more should I churn. But at the end of the day, because of this space constraint, right, I can't do a lot more.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's this much capacity that I can take in. For example, the ice.
Yeah.
I just can't. Even if I buy ice, there's this much space that I can keep the ice. Bread-wise as well. So
Inventory lah. Like
yeah,
it's a small shop. There's only this much like you can do.
Yeah,
and, like,
correct.
It is what it is, and like I mean, if someone came in and then it's sold out, it's sold out lah.
Yeah.
Like then come earlier lor.
Correct. So to be honest, I think in terms of marketing as well as what we have been talking about, it came off with a natural footfall. Because Jufri, Dion, myself, even Celine, actually we have a very good pool of people who know us, and they came for our first soft launch that time, and then it started to blew up from there. So I would still consider that as a
word of mouth first.
yeah. And at the end of the day, I also need to explain that like it's a very, very small shop. I'm just putting myself as a customer point of view. If I'm gonna come here and start queuing up for like nonsense 1 hour, I don't think I will enjoy it as well. The idea of having a small shop also means about intimacy. I don't want anything bigger than this, partly also because in a small space like that, everybody speak to everybody talk to everybody. Even with service, crew, and like customers, you can just talk across like a friend or a family, you know what I mean? Like if you have a very big space, sometimes you don't get that interaction that much. Because I've done restaurants, sort of, wine bar, and I also have done coffee shops. In my opinion, I feel that people who come to coffee shops expect a lot more things than people who are in a restaurant. I don't blame them. I think what I've reflected is because of the short time interaction with the staff as well as the customers. You come here for coffee, you just spend like $5 maybe or $6, and then you only had this like 2 to 3 minutes of interaction with like the staff. And then that's where you sometimes you get like disappointment, and then that's where it ends there. But whereas when you go for in a restaurant, right, you spend a lot more time interacting with the staff.
And money.
Yeah, correct. And I feel that sometimes people who come to coffee shops are a little bit more entitled. I'm sorry. But yeah, they do not understand the struggles that we have back in the kitchen, which we are trying our best to work on it, you know? That's why fast food is the hardest, I would say. Coffee shop, kopitiam, fast food, all these fast things is the hardest because you are just trying to churn fast.
Maybe that's why the kopitiam uncle always very angry.
Yeah lor, that's why they always blackface.
Then shout at you.
Yeah.
Maybe you try
No lah, sometimes I face quite black Halfway through.
Yeah.
The real alley.
The real alley.
The real Geylang alley right here.
Just casually.
Hello.
Just casually enjoying our drinks. And go for Asmine. Actually, I know lah. She just want to have fun, right?
And go for me. Honestly, I still want to learn a lot more than just in a coffee shop. I still want to learn about wine. I still want to learn a lot more things out of the context of a little small red dot. Means I still want to go elsewhere to learn more things. I feel like living in just one small dot cannot really
Expose yourself to the world.
Yeah, or at least to my own knowledge. Not the textbook kind, but a hands-on kind.
Someone actually mentioned this to me before. That daytime people, when like it's harder to service daytime people than to service nighttime people.
It's true, that's what I said. Literally.
So which one you enjoy more?
I still prefer doing a wine bar.
But we have Hideout.
But I still love coffee, so
I know, right? It's like it's not like
Yeah.
you don't like it. It's just that when you really compare the two differences,
yeah.
it's like
That's why actually Hideout supposed to be a night concept as well. It should be a day and a night concept.
But given that,
Geylang, please give me the license to do alcohol.